Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Super Speak Sundays with your host. I'm James the Orator. Hey, we're happy to have you join us today. We have some exciting information, but before we get into that, we want to make sure that you smash that subscribe button and that you make comments when we finish our episodes. We need your feedback. Hey, you know what? We had a fantastic show last Sunday, where we had the firm, a group of folks from Gary, Indiana, who talked about their contribution to not just Indianapolis, but the entire state of Indiana and other areas. And so, you know what? We were excited to have them. Don't forget they have an event coming up on the 30th of September. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be exciting. But just like Gary, Indiana, there was another city that struggled in the 80s. You all know what that city was? It was Detroit, Michigan. And my guest today is from what they call the D. Now, this guy's a heavy Detroit Lions fan. I don't know where he got that from. I mean, sometimes people just get tainted that way, but that's what it is. Let me tell you a little bit about this guy. Howie Bell is a 28-year stand-up comedian, actor, is born in Detroit, Michigan. From the start, Bell has taken the comedy game to the next level. He's appeared on several stand-up specials, such as Comedy After Dark, which is Comedy Central in 2013, 6 seasons of Comic View on BET, including the most recent edition, One Mic Stand, which was hosted by Kevin Hart. Jamie Foxx's Laugh-A-Palooza, which is on Comedy Central. 2 seasons of P. Diddy Presents The Bad Boys of Comedy, which is on HBO. Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed. And 2 seasons of Black Men Revealed on TV One. In 2007, Bell was nominated for the Best Comedic Performance by the NAMIC Awards for his performance on Robert Townsend Presents Partners in Crime, The Next Generation. Howie Bell has given the opportunity to host Kevin Hart's Heart of the City taping for the Detroit performance that aired on the 2nd season of the series featured on Comedy Central, as well as headlined Kevin Hart's Heartbeat Weekend in Las Vegas in 2017. Howie Bell has also enjoyed road success as well, performing on National Bad Boys of Comedy Tour, Laugh-A-Palooza festivals in Atlanta, Georgia, Jamie Foxx's Y2K Tour, an Unpredictable Tour, as well as the Improv, Funny Bone, the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store, and various other comedy clubs across the country. Bell has also toured with several A-list comics, including Jamie Foxx, Cat Williams, Ricky Smiley, Joe Torre, and King of Comedy Cedric the Entertainer. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome comedian Mr. Howie Bell.
Man, what an introduction. Look, I feel like I'm like, who is that guy?
Man. That's you. Hey, you know what? You've done,
brother.
Man, you've done some excellent things. It's exciting to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us today. This is really a treat because
man. Thank you for having me, bro. And a root to the cues, man.
Root to the cues, no doubt. We got to get the cues in. You know what? I want to get before
friendship is essential to the soul, good brother. That's why we.
You already know it. We met some time ago. Matter of fact, you were in. You came to Indianapolis one time, and somehow I was able to be the opening act for you. And you remember that?
I do.
It was an interesting night. I got about 2 people to laugh that entire night. But
I think you had a suit on. That might.
That's right. That's what it was. but you were able to bring up the rear and made it all happen. Man, you know what? Yeah. Before we get started this interview, I really want to share. I want our audience to see, who you are, man. I mean, you've been in this game for such a long time, and people need to know who you are. You've not only have you done things locally. I'm sure you started, and we're going to talk about that, but you've traveled the entire country, doing comedy. How did all this start?
You know what, man? Listen, I can write a book about it, of course,
Yeah.
and I probably will. Man, I started off doing plays,
Okay.
stage plays, and I've done everything from A Raisin in the Sun to Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay. Okay.
So I've done a lot of, that type of thing. I was in the young adult choir in church.
Okay.
I've always done, improvisation, stuff like that. But when I started comedy in '95, my brother Tony Roney influenced me to do it.
Yeah.
And my brother Greg Shelton, my other brother, kind of took me along the Hollywood path. So I just say it just, it started off being young, and it kind of runs in the family, man. Performance. You can go back to, my mother's granduncle, or really uncle, not granduncle. I got that wrong. His name is Baby Boy Warren.
Okay.
He's a blues singer from Detroit. And so, and that's part of my family. I'm part of the Warren family in Detroit. So even though my name is Bell, that comes from my father's side, but the Warren comes from my mom's side. And even to this day, organically, my stepdad, who is married to my mother now, is the lead singer of the Contours.
Wow.
Which is, the old Motown group. Do you love me? You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you love me?
Come on now. That's my stepdad. He's been with the Contours for the last, I want to say, 25 years or something.
Wow.
So, he's not an original member, but he's been, the lead singer of the Contours for that long. And they tour all over the world. I just said all that to say I come from an entertainment family. And not everybody's comedians or anything like that, but my brother Greg Shelton was a great writer.
Yeah.
He wrote for the Image Awards. He wrote for the Gregory Hines Show.
Wow.
He wrote for the Jamie Foxx Show. And he also created a show. He co-produced a show with Marcus King.
Okay.
Who was Jamie Foxx's old manager, called Black Men Revealed, which was on TV.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And so, I come from a proud line, man, of people that have been in entertainment, but under the radar, but have probably been producing and probably been a part of some of your best entertainment over the last 20 to 28 years.
Sure. You talk
Just
about
want to give you that up front real quick.
Oh man, hey, that's good. I mean, because you know what, it sounds like like most of us, man, we grew up, probably in the black church where we had to, be in plays that we really didn't want to be in, but I mean, we did it anyway. But it sounds like, man, you had a lot of you were exposed to this entertainment industry at an early age. What was school like for you, man? I mean, were you a class clown? I mean, did people vote you to be
not at all. I was never a class clown.
Really?
I was never. I never was. Like, I didn't even think I would ever get into doing comedy. That's what I'm trying to, allude to. I just never thought that. But I always was kind of a different kind of guy, though. Like, I dressed different. I was a prep back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, guys used to, I was all the way into hip hop, but the gold ropes. And the 4-finger rings, like, I didn't rock all that. I was just into preppy stuff like Polo, Izod, you know what I'm saying, the Gap. So I was a different kind of guy back then in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So, I just was always different, and I think that kind of bled over into my artism. You know what I'm saying? My artisticness.
There you go. There you go. Create something. Create something. That's good.
Create something to be different, and always be different, and always be, an independent person, and express yourself as an individual. Right. And I think that kind of, helped me along the way when I started. Now, comedy wasn't easy. It wasn't like I just like, hey, I'm a comedian, I'm good. Nah, I didn't have it like that. It worked its way into my system, into my lifestyle. And so it just, So
take us back to, I mean, I know this is probably a time you would never ever forget, but take us back to the first time you went on stage, the very first time. Were you at home in Detroit? I mean, tell us the story.
I was in Detroit. I never forget it. My brother Tony Roney brought me up at the end of the show. It was only 2 people in the audience.
Okay.
And went up, and they looked at me and they just said, "We just wanted to see what you was gonna say."
Was it a comedy club? Was it a comedy club?
It was a comedy night.
Okay.
So there's a difference between a comedy club and a comedy night.
Okay.
This was a comedy show at a nightclub that they had like once a week or something like that.
Yeah.
And my brother Tony Roney produced it, and it was called The Sting.
Okay.
In Detroit, it's called The Sting. and that was the first place right off of the Lodge Freeway in Greenfield. I'll never forget it. So that was the first time I did comedy. I was 1995.
Wow. So did you write something down, or you just kind of, because I know you mentioned improv.
Absolutely not. I didn't write nothing down. I just went up. I didn't know. Write something down. I wasn't even thinking about right. He was just like, "You say you want to be a comedian, you going up." I was like, "Oh, for real?"
Yeah.
It wasn't even no time to think about nothing, write nothing out, any of that. And that's kind of what I think some of the younger comedians miss now.
Okay.
Just go up there and just do what you got to do. Then write too. No, it's another topic.
Right.
Of course you got to write. But when you first start, you just got to break the cherry, man. You know what I'm saying? Go up there, do your thing. And just figure out who you are as a person and as an individual, and then you can kind of go from there as far as structure and writing and things like that.
Yeah. I know the times that I've been up, and I've done it a few times. I mean, it was off pure just what was in my spirit to say at the time, kind of reading the audience, and it worked for me. But like I said, I'm in no way professing to be a professional comedian, but like I said, I will take a dare, and I have done many times.
Well, comedy is one of those things, man. I've seen people take a dare off of comedy, and it becomes their career. Stand-up comedy is very addictive. When you start doing it and you start feeling that energy from the crowd, and you start feeling like what I wrote or what I came up with in my own brain actually made people connect with me, that is a feeling that a lot of people don't get.
Yeah, you're right.
So when you do stand up, you can get addicted to it very easily, and because of that reason.
Right. And so you started this thing a long time ago, and you've seen a lot of comedians come and go. What's been the thing that sustained your career to this point?
Shit, I had no choice. I started doing comedy. I was making money off of it. That was my job.
Right.
So I looked at comedy like, this is my job. This is my job.
Yeah. When did you?
I didn't have another option. Like, I just kind of looked and approached it like that, and so my hustle became my job.
Okay. Now you went to. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I'm saying was, it went from like something that I wanted to do, or like something like, well, this looks fun, to being like a hustle, like I can make money off this, to being like my job. Like, I want to take this serious. So I had a couple phases. And so I never thought about anything other than that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's always been part of the culture of me for the last, like I said, 28, 29 years now going.
Sure. Yeah. But you know what? Yeah. Many people might not know this, but you also went to college after high school. Is that right?
Right after high school. So, I graduated in 1990 from Martin Luther King High School in Detroit.
Okay.
And we play Cass Tech tomorrow night. That's our rivalry.
Detroit folks.
But yeah, man, I graduated from there and I went to Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina. That's a HBCU.
Yeah.
I pledged Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh man, you got to let them know. And so did you graduate? Did you graduate from Benedict?
Did I graduate? Absolutely did I graduate. It's all about scholarship. You know that team.
That's right.
That's right. 92 East Square that year.
That's
Got a degree from Benedict College. Not only do I have a bachelor's from Benedict College, but I'm looking into going back right now. Me and a couple of brothers actually are talking about my brother Jeter, talking about me coming back and doing an advanced comedy writing class. So this is where I'm at right now with Benedict. So shouts out to Benedict. We're gonna work it out, get it done. We're gonna get it done. Yeah,
that's good. So you mentioned that
I'm all about scholarship. I'm all about learning.
I know it. So you mentioned that you had no other option because you chose, to start comedy. But what did you major in school? I mean, that wasn't an option at all. Your major?
Well, I majored in media arts. So,
okay, makes sense.
Yeah, so I was prepared. I really wanted to be a journalist. That's what I wanted to be. Journalism was my thing. I wanted to do that, and it just didn't work out that way. I really, to be honest, if I had it the way I wanted it to be, I would be like a local broadcaster on a TV show, on local news somewhere, or on CNN somewhere.
Right.
That's kind of what I wanted to do. As a young man, I wanted to be a journalist, some type of broadcaster, and then. I just kind of got into life, man, and just became a really, a person that was really, I knew I liked to travel.
Yeah.
I knew I was fun. I knew I was, I became a fraternity brother. I was a frat guy.
Oh yeah.
So journalism wasn't going to work for me. I was like, nah, that's a little bit too constrained. Maybe I could do it now, though I'm older now. So it's never too old to do that.
That's right.
Fox 2 News. Look for your brother Howie Bell.
Y'all better look him up. Y'all better look him up. Y'all better look him up.
Yeah. I'm looking. I'll be on the scene. I can do anything on scene for you. I can do all.
Give him a little sample. Give him a little sample. Give him a little sample.
Yeah, this is your brother Howie Bell reporting live in the field from East 7 Mile. Welcome to Detroit, everybody. We got a report coming up. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh man, hey.
Oh, you see that?
Hey.
That was
that's it. Hey, you know what? You talked about the very first time you went on stage with two people in the audience. When did you know? At what point and what year did you know? Hey, I might have something. I got to take this serious.
It didn't take long. I moved to LA as soon as I graduated from Benedict.
Okay.
So when I started doing comedy in '95, I actually had got kicked out of school for hazing.
Oh.
So I was on some different type of vibe at that time.
Right.
So I went back to Detroit for a minute, and then I became a transient student at the University of South Carolina, the Gamecocks.
Okay.
And so I went and did that with them over there with the Zeta Bros. Did my thing, became a bartender. My whole life changed. I was at a grunge bar where we was listening to Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was bartending at a bar like that. Like, my whole life had, like, literally transformed.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved every second of it. And I went back to school, obviously, back to Benedict after I left as a transient student at USC. I took my 16 millimeter film production class there, videographer class there, editing classes. I took all that at USC, and I went back to Benedict.
Wow.
With like information that they never had because I'm at the university now down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Benedict though, and they accept me back in after the hazing shit, and I get my degree.
Right.
I graduate. I go back to Detroit, hang out for a minute, and I move to LA. Wow. And I literally caught a Greyhound from from Detroit to LA. And it took me like 3 days. And I left with a comedian, Spanky Hayes.
Wow.
Who was a Wildin' Out veteran.
Yeah.
So, so I was with him and we moved to LA together on a Greyhound. How about that? So
wow.
So
you get to LA. And so in your bio, I read that you've been on Comic View. So talk about being on Comic View. I mean, they just had like a call for comedians.
Well, they had auditions. So for even back then, for everything now that you're doing entertainment, there are auditions for it.
Right.
So, even back then, there are auditions for BET Comic View. And that was in 98.
Okay.
So I had only been in LA not even a year. Wow. Had auditions. That's back when Ronaldo Ray was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Great Ronaldo Ray.
Yeah.
And he had an audition at his room.
Wow.
And it was, I don't know, 20 or so comedians. It was at the place called the Town House or something like that. It was like in Inglewood, California.
Wow.
Townhouse or something. Township or the Townhouse.
Okay.
I think the Townhouse. But he had a room there at that time when he was hosting as a comic, as the host. And he had the BET Comic View auditions. And so, I was there and man, I was on that list. And I promise you, man, all them comedians went up. And man, I was the last comedian.
You the last comedian? Oh, wow. Wow.
They kept bumping me because I was new. I was from Detroit. I just moved out to LA.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of other comedians in front of me.
Yeah.
They had to, they had, bumped me because of their classification as far as how long they've been doing comedy.
Right.
So in LA. And in general. So by the time I went up, man, I promise you, we went from a packed house to probably about another 10 people, like almost like when I first started doing comedy.
Two people.
10 people. About 10 people, a little more.
Okay.
And brought me up, Ronaldo. Hey, I'm going to bring up my man from Detroit, Howie Bell.
Mm-hmm.
When that raspy voice.
Yeah.
Brought me up, man. I went up and they gave me 3-4 minutes, man. I went up and did well.
Yeah.
wild. Them 10 people laughed at me. They clapped for me and everything. And I'm gonna tell you something. He went up and got the mic from me and said, "Now that's what I'm talking about. He's gonna be on Comic View."
Oh wow. He said those words.
Yep. And that was in 1998, bro. And I made the season. He got me on the season. And from there, I did Comic View in 98, 99, and 2000.
Wow.
And 2001. I did it 4 years in a row.
Wow.
And then I did it. A couple years went by. And then we did this thing on Comic View called like One Mic Stand or something like that.
Okay.
Kevin Hart hosted Comic View 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Did it that year. And it was another year we were somewhere. I did it 6 times. I'm trying to, my memory's right.
So you lived in LA all these years?
Most of the years, yes.
Okay.
I lived in LA 7 years. So, but most of these years I was living in LA. I did Comedy View a total of 6 times. And then I did things on Comedy Central, like you mentioned earlier. Jamie Foxx Laugh-A-Palooza, and Partners in Crime, all these things. And then, of course, what people contemporarily know me as. I've been doing it so long.
Yeah.
So my audience has changed over through the years. That's a beautiful thing about comedy too. Your audience can change over, and you can continue to be a comic, and you can have a lasting career. But my audience changed over when I did the Bad Boys of Comedy. So that was on HBO, and then I did that. You know what I'm saying, for 2 seasons, and then it changed over again. From Bad Boys of Comedy to all of the independent films that I've been doing. So I did a lot of independent films. I'm probably like the king of, as far as comedians, as far as underground bootleg black movies. I've done about 12, 13, 14, 15, I don't know, something like that. Maybe more, throughout my career. But, it's fun, man. And I've always looked at comedy as fun. And I think that's what's kept me going. To answer your question, as far as longevity, what keep you going, things like that, I've always enjoyed comedy from a fun aspect.
Sure.
Because once you get away from the fun and you concentrate too much, you can't help it. But if you concentrate too much on the business part,
right,
or like why I'm not making it, then, or quote unquote making it, that's a whole nother discussion. But if you caught up in that, then you're not gonna have fun, and your career in comedy be short lived. Because this is a place where you gotta have fun. And if you're not having fun, you know what I'm saying? And there's some people that are successful in this, are still not having fun.
Yeah, you gotta have fun. I agree.
They doing a lot more, making way more money, doing everything, but they still not having fun because they're still chasing something.
Yeah,
and you don't.
We know that money is not always the driving force to happiness. You have to be happy within. You have to be happy within first, and then if money happens to come, then that's a bonus. But you have to. I'm gonna give
you a perfect example, man, of where happiness is from within. Man, I'm a Detroit Lions fan.
Right.
We have been losers for a long time.
Right.
I've been happy to wear my Detroit Lions gear for decades. Like I've been a Lions fan since I was a kid, since the 70s. So I have never found sorrow in it, only joy in it.
Yeah.
And now we're getting ready to kind of turn the page and be a better franchise.
Sure, right.
Now it's even better. So that's what I'm saying. You stick to your guns.
Yeah.
Trust me, good things will happen that'll make you feel better.
Hey, Brother Bell, you know what?
Lions, baby.
Oh, come on, man. Hey, I hope they're gonna be out on Sunday. Hey, you know what, Brother Bell? You know what? There's someone watching this who has an interest in being a comedian, or they consider themselves to be a comedian at this point.
Oh yeah.
What words of encouragement would you have for the up and coming comedian?
I want to let you know I'm drinking some of that good ale right now. Well, what I would say is, for up and coming comedian, be consistent. So that means go up anywhere you got to go up. I don't care if it's an open mic. I don't care if it's a backyard boogie, church function, whether you got to be clean,
right,
or blue or what have you. And in case people don't know, blue means being like cursing words and stuff like that. So it's clean and blue. That's an old terminology in comedy.
Okay.
But I don't care what you got to do, whether it's a comedy club, whether you got to sit there and not go up. You as a comic should concentrate on being consistent and being at comedy clubs and trying to go up. I don't care if it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Right. Be consistent. And if you can do that, you can build from there. Also, try to figure out, I know it's hard because everybody's not a writer and all that stuff, but try to figure out a beginning, a middle, and an end to your show. I don't care if your show is 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Figure out something in the beginning, something in the middle, I'm going to say, and something to close it out.
Yeah.
And I think if you start with those little basic things right there, quick tips from me. I got a book coming out too. Quick tip from Howie Bell for comedians. Have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that doesn't matter how much time you have. Just implement that into what you're doing.
Man, those some powerful words. Those some powerful words. Because again, I know there's someone out that's watching this and saying, man, this guy moved to LA on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, right. And on a Greyhound bus.
On a Greyhound bus, And so, hey, that showed your commitment to this industry, to the career, And so we applaud you, man, for that, because that's some serious stuff. And and your career has flourished and it's shown the commitment level that you've given to the industry, man. We really appreciate what you've done. Now, you know what? People may want to contact you to have you come out. And on the tickler here, we have your Instagram and then also your Facebook. If someone wanted to book you, what do they need to do? I mean, just hit you here.
All they got to do is inbox one of those two places. It's authentically me.
Okay.
Just go and inbox me and all that. And it's good. My phone number is public too, so it doesn't matter. You can text me, all that. It's 313-207-7647. My number is Bell. It's been public for a long time, and it doesn't matter. You can text. I got stalkers that know my number, so it's okay.
You know what? Last question.
I got stalk. I got bill collectors. I got spam.
Oh, man, everybody want Howie Bell. You know what? Who's been when you think about the opportunity, man, for you to open for someone who was maybe one of your somebody who you look to in the industry, man. I mean, who's been the greatest? What's been the greatest opportunity for you? I mean, I know it's been so many.
That's a deep question. I've had a lot of opportunities. I'm gonna tell you, man. I've worked with some of the best and some of the biggest legends that will ever be in stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I've opened up for Cat Williams, a few times. My man Cedric the Entertainer, man, love you, brother. I worked with him for a minute. He had me on the road with him for a little over a year. I've worked with Joe Claire. That's my dog.
Yeah, Joe Claire. Okay.
Claire. Of course, Jamie Foxx. We talked about that a lot of times with the sketch group, The Other Level, and by myself with the Unpredictable Tour in Detroit. It's been a lot of legends, man. I could keep going.
What about
Shots out, hold on, I want to cut you off. My man Earthquake. That's my dog. Earthquake several times. I've been on Quake's house.
Yeah.
Right there on Kevin Hart's LOL radio. So I do Quake's house quite a bit.
Wow.
I love the legends. I love my legend, Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
Bill Bellamy, that's my brother right there, man. I haven't talked to him in a while. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. Mike Epps. I just did Mike Epps' club in Detroit. He opened up a new club in Detroit called.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, called One Mike Detroit.
Okay.
And I just flying for a 24-hour weekend there. So that was 24-hour, not weekend, but I'm sorry, like a 24-hour comedy type thing, marathon. And they had it there, and I headlined the Friday night. It was beautiful, man. And it's just been just waiting. I'm leaving somebody out. I apologize. Of course, Kevin Hart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Over Heart of the City and doing the things that they went in Vegas and other things like that. And I mean, just man, a lot of the guys in this industry, man, I really appreciate and really love so many, man, that I worked with through the years. I mean, really, really excellent, really brilliant comedians.
Man,
really brilliant. Like, I just got through hanging out with Marshall Brandon here in Detroit. If you don't know who Marshall Brandon is, you need to know. And he's on the road with Dave Chappelle right now.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chance at least, say what's up to Dave Chappelle, hang out with Marshall Brandon here in Detroit, man, at Little Caesars Arena a couple of days ago.
Man, that's good stuff, man.
This is the life, man, that I chose to live.
That's it.
Is what it is. And I'm gonna tell you something. Things happen every day. They happen really fast. So a lot of times, man, we have to sit back and just kind of take a deep breath, see what we're doing, readjust, and then get back out there and do it, because it's a lot to digest, especially when you're dealing with high profile individuals and you dealing with that type of tension, you trying to get to where you're going and do all these things, there's a lot to digest. And so I tell them, your time, breathe, enjoy the ride. Because if you're not enjoying the ride, you're going to get caught up in something and your mind's going to go another place and it's not for you. Enjoy the ride, enjoy stand-up comedy, man. And you don't get no better than blessing people with this comedy medicine. It's the best thing.
Yeah, man.
So if you want to do it, take it seriously, take it to heart, because knowing that you're dealing with people and their mental and their emotions.
That's right.
When you're doing comedy, understand that you're delivering some real medicine and take it seriously.
Yeah, man. That's good. Hey, those are good words, man. You know what? We pray, man.
I ain't mean to have no run on like that.
No. You good, brother. You good. You good. Hey, you know what? The words that you were speaking, definitely gives food for thought, man, for those who are looking to get in this industry. So, hey, hey, I welcome that. Hey, man, we blessed, man, and asked the Creator, man, to elevate you, brother, even higher. I mean, you already there, but you're doing some great things, man. You got a great heart. And one of the things, man, I think is most important, man, is being able to be a good person, most importantly. And so being a good person, and that's who you are, man. Ever since I met you.
And I know we don't have that much longer to go, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. Being a good person goes a long way.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. You can be into education, you can be into medicine, you can be into the arts, you can be into politics, you can be into construction, whatever you are, architecture, whatever you are, real estate, you pick a business, law, go for it. But just be a good person.
That's it.
And if you're a good person, man, other people are going to be affected by your kindness and your goodness. And that goes a long way. If you're a negative person or you carry a spirit of bad energy, that's going to affect the other people around you and that'll make them have a bad energy. So we got to keep that in mind because we don't always know this. But when you got that black cloud over you and you walking around and like my mom would say, dragging the axe.
That's it.
You walking around being mean all the time. That affects everyone around you.
Yeah, man. It's the energy. It's the energy, man.
Even if they're nice people, it's just you bring the bad tension. So keep it positive, y'all.
That's what's up. Hey, you know what? Before we get out of here, man, I gotta show this clip, man. I gotta let people see who you are. And you know what? I think I'm gonna show the whole clip, man. It's about 4 minutes. We're gonna show it. We're gonna show it. Yeah, we're gonna show it. And then we're gonna show it. We're gonna show it. So let me show this clip. Let's see here. Share. All right, here we go.
All right. Let's see. See what you got.
Give it up for Howie Bell. Let him in. What up, dog? What's the deal? What up, y'all? Oh, man, y'all can do better than that. What up, dog? I flew here all the way on Greyhound. Man, give it up. What's the deal? Y'all act like y'all mean. What are nice people out in here? Make some noise. Nice people? All right. What are people that's just mean? Don't give a damn. Mean. There's more y'all in here. Black people, we mean as hell. You can't ask a brother nothing, can you? Hey, man, what time is it? God damn! Oh! Where the hell is your watch? You ain't got a phone with a clock on it or nothing? Why we so mean like that? I had a mean family too, boy, from Detroit. Mama used to drink East Side. My mama and them used to drink and hang out and listen to the blues all night, boy. All you hear in my house was, hey, the blues is all right. Hey, the blues is all right. Smoke everywhere. Mama, I'm ready to go home when I finish my drink. It'd be this much in the glass. You go outside, you come back in, it'd be this much in the glass. Had a mean granny growing up. Anybody had a mean grandmama growing up? My grandma wasn't nice. Baby, here goes some cookies. Shit. My grandma would cuss you out and say it twice. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. I don't know what this shit is. Now don't ask me no more. Don't ask me no more. You be scared to ask for life-saving shit. But Granny, I want some water. Hell no. Hell no. Grandmama used to make you go take baths. Niggas hated taking baths growing up. Go take a bath. You be in there bullshitting with the towels and shit. Our grandma would kick the door like the police. Bam, give me that rag. You gotta get all of it. To take the soap and put it in your eyeball. You be rolling in the mud. Feeling like a little bitch. That's why you gotta raise your kids right, man. We ain't got grandmamas like that no more. For real. Certain stuff though, you know, with kids, you ain't even gotta keep teaching the kids the same stuff no more, y'all. Like nursery rhymes, what is that? They all horror stories, all of them. Right? Ain't none of them got a happy ending. I'm gonna give you an example. Rockabye baby on the treetop. What the hell is a baby doing in the tree? First of all, the wind gonna blow, the cradle gonna rock. Down would come baby, cradle and all. That's death, ain't it? Humpty Dumpty sound the wall, remember him? Had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put him together again. Again, that was the second time, wasn't it? Humpty sound kind of suicidal, don't it? Old MacDonald had a farm and some slaves. I bet y'all ain't know that, did you? With a whip here and a whip there. That's the part they kept out. They kept E-I-E-O. Throw you off a little bit. Even the black nursery rhymes was terrible. Twilly Elite. How many of y'all remember Twilly Elite? The 4 girls in Twilly. Let's start off. Daddy on the corner shooting dice. We ain't gambling. Mom in the kitchen cooking rice. They ain't got nothing else to eat. Your brother in jail raising hell. And your sister on the corner selling a fruit cocktail. That's prostitution.
Brother. Hey man, you know what? You remember what year that was?
That was Laugh-A-Palooza. I think that was 1999.
Man, you know what? You killed it. And you know what? You continue to do it, man, here in 2023, man. Hey, we want to thank you, brother, for taking the time.
And just to reiterate on that particular show, I remember doing that, and that was in Atlanta, Georgia. Laugh-A-Palooza was a festival, a comedy festival.
Mm-hmm.
For all those that don't know. And it lasted for, I don't know, about 8 to 9 years or so, maybe longer, give or take. And they would have different segments that, like, you know, new faces segments.
Yeah.
Improv segments where we did it with the other level. And then they had individual segments where I did that for Comedy Central. And that was my first time on Comedy Central.
Really?
That particular show. Yeah.
Wow.
So just to give some background, you know, just some insight, because we're doing the podcast, just on information about that. And I remember doing that show, and I was so nervous. I mean, I had to be the most nervous I ever been doing a television show.
Yeah.
I was cool and calm, but I was nervous. Only my second year doing TV, but I don't know why I felt so nervous. But you know, I kind of started off slow on that set to me,
right?
And towards the end, I felt like I finished good, and that was a good thing. That was like a confidence builder for me as a comic, and that's the young comics, you know, looking at, you know, this, you know, I'm a human being too, you know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
I'm going through all those emotions and, you know, all those things, and I wind up coming through. So a lot of times the lights do get shiny.
Yeah.
And they do get a little intimidating. Take your breath, even through your joke, man. You may toss out a few jokes that you think was going to be good.
Right.
And then it's good. Make sure you got enough jokes to back that up. Take your breath and continue your set, man. Because that's kind of what I was going through. Yeah. So I just want to, again, I'm looking at that right now while you just played, and I'm like, wow, I remember my mindset at that time.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling gratified because the ending was better than I started. So, you know, and even though I pretty much had a decent set throughout, you could tell I was nervous, and I can look at myself and tell I was nervous.
Well, you know what? We wouldn't know that unless you told us, because
you know, veteran comedians, real comedians know. They can tell.
Now, so you trying to say I'm no real comedian?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, not at all. What I'm saying is, what I meant by real is, I apologize for that, because I don't mean real, like not authentic as a comic. I meant like I've been doing it a long time, and so they could tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're looking back at that. Ooh, I was all over the place. You know, I didn't have really good segues. You know, my transitions was, you know, they wasn't right, and I was jumping from subject to subject. But what saved me is my energy and the way I approached the stage, and I still looked like I had the confidence.
That's it.
So you can fake it, guys. You can fake it.
Yeah.
So you can get through there, and you can fake it, and so you can develop more and kind of have a better set or a better understanding of who you are as a comic and as an artist, and you'll be able to write accordingly to your own personality.
Sure. My brother, Howie Bell, once again, Howie Bell, y'all. He has joined us here on Super Speak Sunday, man. We really, really appreciate, man, you taking the time again. It's been a true pleasure to have you here.
No problem,
and we look forward to bringing you back. You know, I know you said you had a couple of books that you've written, and I know you got some
it's this one book that I'm working on right now, and it's called Quick Tips for Comics.
Okay.
Hey, man, working on it's coming out.
Forward to. We're gonna bring you back and let you introduce it and talk a little bit about it, man, when it's when it's ready to be released.
Absolutely. And big shouts out to Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina, one more time. East Square chapter to the Q's. I'll be coming down there and blessing the student body with these, you know, this advanced comedy writing experience that we're going to experience. So we're probably going to do it next semester.
Sounds good. All right, bro. Talk to you soon, bro. I appreciate you.
No problem.
All right. Take care of yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ooh-wee. I don't know about you, but what you gonna say? You know what I mean? If you want to be a comedian, or you've thought about being a comedian, this guy just laid out a blueprint for your career. So I would visit his Instagram and watch him on Facebook, and you know what? He has a number of videos on YouTube as well. Man, point he's been able to progress. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this episode with Mr. Howie Bell, comedian Howie Bell. And I hope that you are enjoying what we're doing. We just started back and we're doing our thing all over again. But hey, we want you to continue to subscribe to our channel. Tell 10 friends to subscribe. And also, we want your comments as well. Until next time, you can be great if you decide. We'll see you next time. James the Orator, Super Speak Sundays. Peace.